Thank you. Wonderful Rick Stanton, a jack of many trades, and our beloved Sandra Wong and her beast. Only one this time. This is Jasper. So Jasper's a sweetheart. Love him. So welcome to Althea. My name is Rick Kitzman. Any first-timers here today? We have one, two. Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome to Althea. And so grateful that you're here. This is such a wonderful community. We love sharing it. And the flower there is just to designate that this is your first time so that people can greet you. Not to embarrass you or anything like that, but just to make sure you get a warm Althea welcome. And the best way to know what's happening here is to make sure you sign up and get your email address to get our weekly newsletter. And that is the most informative way to know what's going on at Althea. And there's always something going on here, right? All right. In fact, what is going on... Two announcements. I'll do some more towards the end of the service, but two very important announcements. Well, three, actually. This list keeps growing. We have the holidays are here, and we need some decorators. So next Saturday on the 27th, from noon to 4, if you are so inclined, please show up here and help turn Althea into a magical winter wonderland. And we'll make sure that you have something to decorate. So please show up if you are of a mind. Secondly, you probably were asked, maybe not, if you had proof of vaccination. That is new. We announced it last week. And it's simply a decision that we made for the safety of our entire populace here. And it's something that, was not done quickly. There was a lot of thought that went into it, and please let us know your feedback, and hopefully someday we will not need to do this anymore. But for the time being, for the safety of everyone who walks through these doors, masks are required and proof of vaccination. And thirdly, for those of you who either are new or may not know, we are voting to ratify our selected candidate for the spiritual director, Catherine Newell. Where's Catherine? She's right here. And her family is with her too. So voting, so we've counted all the proxies. If you mailed in your ballot, if you are an active member and you mailed in your ballot, we've taken care of those. We have an up-to-date, just last night, database of active members. And we will have a table set up in the dining room for those of you who haven't voted and want to do so. All you have to do is just show up, tell us your name. If you're on the list, you'll get a ballot. And then you can vote to your heart's content. Well, no, just once. Just once, sorry. All right. All right. With that in mind, let us go to our hearts and have an opening prayer. And what an exciting day here at Althea. In our beloved state, with a blue sky, cloudless, sun is shining. And oh, what a wonderful world. And when we just breathe, and we feel our shoulders drop, and our stomach relax, and we just sink into the chair, and we know that we are supported, that there is in this relaxation a renewal of awakening once again from the day-to-day stresses and strifes and this, at times, weird world, and we awaken to the oneness of everyone in it. Reawaken. For in our heart of hearts, we know that oneness is the truth with a capital T. And we know that here at Althea, we can come here for a rejuvenation of that wisdom and that knowledge. For this is a sanctuary of love and peace and harmony. And we know in this time, the outside of these doors, there is so much turmoil that when we hear those words, "Oh, what a wonderful world," we may question that. But when we dig deep down inside our hearts and our minds and embrace the oneness, embrace this concept, this idea, this truth with a capital T, that spirit, that mind, that God is always, always at work. And that everyone in this world, everyone wears the face of God. And we know that this is a time of renewal for Althea with its vote of our new spiritual director and laying the foundation for the future. But we always return to the present moment. And so there is joy in that thinking. There is joy in that visioning. There is joy in this moment, and all we have to do is focus on that. Because that is what gives us strength to open out these doors and go into the world and present it with a face of light and life and love. That is our job. At times difficult, but when embraced, so very easy. And so when we also go into our hearts filled with gratitude and give thanks for this wonderful life that each of us in our own unique ways lives, walks, and breathes, it truly is magnificent. And each and every one of you is a magnificent representation of the divine. You are divine. And when we are grateful, we focus on that. And there is joy in our hearts and peace. And so, with a heart filled with gratitude, I bless each and every one of you here and celebrating Spirit all over the world in a million different ways. And we just let go and let life and love embrace us all right here and right now. And so it is.
I didn't talk about this prior to the service. Catherine, would you mind coming up and signing? We're going to do the statement of being, followed by our song response, The Face of God. So please stand as you're able and join me in the statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite Tim Wilson up.
Yesterday was Transgender Day of Remembrance, which was founded in 1999 by a small group to memorialize the murder of African-American transgender woman Rita Hester in the Allston neighborhood of Boston the previous November. Since then, this commemoration has grown exponentially to become an important international event held in hundreds of cities and dozens of countries on November 20th each year. It follows Transgender Awareness Week, which is recognized November 13th to the 19th. In Denver on Friday afternoon, One Colorado and the Center on Colfax hosted speakers, followed by a march, rally, and reading of names of this year's victims at the state capitol. While Transgender Day of Remembrance is a critical event, the scholars and activists committed to advancing intersectional approaches to transgender politics continue to highlight the importance of seeing the perpetuation of transphobic violence as inherently connected to race, gender, and class. This is reflected in the disproportionate instances of violence against trans women of color in general and Black and Latina trans women in particular. The names projected on the screen behind me, thank you, Jason, document the known murders of 47 transgender or non-binary persons in the United States since the beginning of this year. Of those, at least 37 were persons of color, and a significant majority were trans women. Globally, there have been over 375 murders of trans individuals this year, and we know these numbers are grossly underreported in many countries and not reported at all in others. With the lighting of the first candle, let us pray for all of these beautiful human beings who were taken from this earth too soon. With the lighting of the second candle, let us also pray for those who have perpetuated this violence, which is often born of fear, misinformation, a lack of understanding, self-hatred, inability to feel or express compassion, or some combination of these circumstances. Let us have a moment of silence to remember. For our music today, we're thrilled to welcome back one of our favorites, Sandra Wall. Sandra started her life journey in upstate New York, displaying a deep love of music as a youngster. She began studying the violin at age 7 with the intention of becoming a concert violinist. This remained her sole focus for 15 years until she discovered fiddling, and her musical world was turned upside down. And I'm also thrilled that she brought with her today the nickel harpa, which is an ancient instrument from Scandinavia. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you. So good to be back here with all of you, and thank you for making my boys welcome too. Some of you have heard the first two short pieces that I'll play. I wasn't sure of what the theme was today, and knowing the theme, I think it's just appropriate to play these two as an offering, and then I'll go into a waltz, Josephine's waltz. So the first two are ones that I've written, and the first one is called Remembrance, so pretty self-explanatory. And then I'll just do a very short snippet of A Time for Peace, because that also feels very apropos. And then the third, Josephine's waltz, a wonderful guitarist, Wilbur Tallroth, wrote it for his niece. And you know, it doesn't matter what color, what culture, what gender, what sexual orientation we have. We all have that little child inside of us that deserves only nurture and love.
Althea. Just want to first just take a minute to acknowledge Tim and your work for the LGBTQ community, elevating new voices. Really appreciate your dedication. So can we just all give Tim a nice round for all his hard work? Thank you. Well, over 3 years ago, I walked through those doors. I came to Althea, and it instantly felt like home to me. And I'm deeply grateful to get an opportunity to be a part of this amazing, loving community, and for all that you guys have given me, over the years. And I'm also grateful for this opportunity for us to join together on a message on being thankful and being grateful. Now, for our time together, we will talk about that, but there is a specific message for you. So I really invite you to look out for that message, okay? And God just asks us, Spirit, beloved, asks us that we have just a small amount of willingness to hear or learn something new. So I'm going to ask us, do we have just a small amount of willingness to hear or learn something new today? How about this section? You guys are... All right, how about this section? Oh, they look a little more willing than this section. All right, how about this section? All right, wonderful. So, no competition here. And as we join on ideas, we strengthen them. So that's the important part, of asking that. So I really affirm that we have willingness to learn something new. So we're going to talk about gratitude in terms of how to use that spiritual tool to get us closer to God. And when I say God here, I'm not talking about a specific religion or denomination or anything like that. When I'm talking about this in a context, what I'm talking about is the unlimited, divine, universal, boundless, timeless, unconditional love. So when I use that word today, just kind of let that, kind of permeate through you, and just the timeless, boundless, unconditional, non-judgmental, eternal love. God. Okay? And so we know that the word gratitude, that's being in a state of gratefulness, appreciation, thankfulness. Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you say in your life is thank you, that would suffice. And that's a powerful statement about gratitude. And so why is being in alignment with gratitude so important to our spiritual development and our connection to God? Well, one of the first things is gratitude is an attribute of love. So when we are in alignment with gratitude, we are also simultaneously connecting with love within us. And then when we express that or experience that gratitude, from our hearts, we are joining with that God part within us. Second, gratitude really helps us to shift our focus and take notice of the gifts that are in front of us. And it also helps us really shift away that focus of perhaps the things that we wish we had and they were different. Third, there's been a lot of research done about gratitude. I mean, lots and lots and lots of research done. They've studied people, those that actually, practice gratitude as a part of their spiritual practice, are able to rebound from stress and anxiety, their ability to deal with adversity and things like that. And research has also shown that consciously practicing gratitude is transformational. Now, how many of you think of the word gratitude and the word transformation? No. We're going to learn more about that. Okay, so that transformation, so we're talking about transformation or a major shift, right? Through gratitude, it's taking that same state, that same condition and situation or circumstance or person and transforming our connection to it, right? And so when we consciously make those steps to practice this gratitude tool to help us, build a stronger connection to God, build that stronger connection to love, build that stronger connection to each other, it's because we're shifting away from our fixed way of being. Now, I know you guys might not have a fixed way of being, but I certainly do at times, right? And so we're shifting away from that sort of fixed way of being, that fixed way of thinking, or outcomes should be a certain way, and then we're aligning instead with appreciation, with love, and then we're in that alignment with appreciation and love, and that connects us directly to God. And so also having, gratitude, also, it helps us appreciate the value of something or someone, right? And so therefore we're less likely to take that for granted. Having gratitude when things are, going really great, that's nice. That's going to naturally express, from our heart, and it's pretty easy, It's like, oh, this is great. I had this outcome come. I'm so grateful. However, I want to challenge us, really, using this tool, gratitude, in the face of adversity and pain. Now that's where it becomes transformational. Okay. Now, fourth, the spiritual practice, right? So we have gratitude as in, we're in that state of thank you, appreciation, those kind of things. Now we're talking about gratitude as a spiritual practice. And that's a state of mind. It's a way of being in life. So that gratitude, when we practice it, it allows us to reframe things in God's light and understanding and not our own. So that's another layer, to this gratitude tool is like, okay, so when I'm allowing that, I'm shifting into this, alignment state with gratitude. I'm also just allowing God to help me see this and reframe this. And sure enough, when we practice that spiritual aspect of gratitude, man, the gifts abound. We really are abundant in ways that sometimes we can't always see. And so what's really important is that we utilize this spiritual practice when it's challenging, to really try to be appreciative, when we're not feeling appreciative, or perhaps when we're just feeling disconnected from God. We have a lot of external things pulling our different attention, and sometimes it feels like we're so far away from God. But this is something that we can use to, bring us closer and within. A Course in Miracles says, and gratitude to God becomes a way in which God is remembered. For love cannot be far behind a grateful heart and a thankful mind. Pretty powerful. So we talked a little bit about gratitude, the benefits. Gratitude is a gateway to really aligning with love, having God, really see that lens through God's eyes in that situation. And that all sounds great, doesn't it? I mean, really. And it seems like a pretty simple spiritual tool to use, every day. Is it hard to say thank you? No. It really doesn't take much effort at all. So, and it's low-hanging fruit. How about those low-hanging fruits? Because, on our spiritual path here, some of these tools, we got to dig a lot deeper. But to be of thanks, to be grateful, to say thank you, yeah, that's pretty simple. Okay, so why with all these benefits? We know it literally has health benefits, mental health benefits. It really helps us see gifts that we didn't necessarily see before. So why isn't it more a part of our daily life? Well, perhaps, with all that's going on in our fast-paced world, and we're just constantly distracted by so many different things, it can kind of take our focus away from remembering to cultivate that practice daily. Also, I doubt many of us would think of ourselves as ungrateful. But ingratitude can show up in our lives in a variety of ways. Complaining, venting, bitterness, jealousy, just discontentment. I know none of you guys have that problem, but I've read about it. So, and perhaps another barrier to practicing gratitude is we're desiring something more, something better, something else. And so we're dreaming up of all these other possibilities about a situation, about a circumstance, and not recognizing here's a gift right here in front of me, right here, right now. And let's face it, our egos can become dissatisfied at times. Why is my latte not hot enough? Why is this guy driving so slow in the fast lane? What kind of restaurant is this with this few gluten-free options? I am going to Yelp about this. I can't handle that. So, can anyone relate to those feelings of ego dissatisfaction? Anybody here? Yeah. Especially the guy, the slow guy in the fast lane. That's really tricky. But I bring that up because what we can realize is when we're in that space of just that ego level of feeling dissatisfied, that's a place where we're experiencing ungratefulness. And as I said, practicing gratitude when things are going our way is nice because it comes naturally, right? When you feel that gratitude from your heart, it just pours out. It's effortless. But practicing it in those moments when your latte is not to the temperature that you need, or this guy is not driving it perhaps as fast as you want, or maybe those gluten-free options aren't as bountiful as you would have hoped for, we could just be, grateful for this present moment as it is without a need to fix or change that. So I'm going to give you an example in my life where I really had to dig deep and use this tool. I had met somebody and we had gotten into a relationship and it was great, and I was so grateful. And we went along and we met all those important, relationship milestones together, meeting each other's friends, meeting each other's family, trips to the mountains. We went to Europe and we moved in together. Oh, so grateful. And it was easy to appreciate this person and our relationship, when all these outcomes were favorable, right? But over time, our relationship had gotten to a point where our learning was complete and the relationship ended. Well, at that point in time, was I grateful for them and our relationship that I was before? No, I wasn't. Was I grateful that I had to move out when we were in the height of the COVID pandemic and everything was shut down and there was very limited options to view apartments and I was on a budget? Nope, wasn't grateful. And, I didn't even know if I could get people to help me move. I mean, we were like in strict, lockdown. However, I did very quickly. I found a place. I moved into this woman's home. She had a 5-year-old daughter, and I moved into their basement. Now, since this was a rushed move, I didn't ask some important questions like noise factor. Okay, so about a month went by, and then the kids were going to learn from home. They're learning remotely, and then the door that should have been to my living room / office, it wasn't there because it had to be custom made and it had to match these other ones. So it was like really nice. Well, that door wasn't going to be made, anytime soon with the pandemic. So this was, not an option. So the 5-year-old is living her best life. And the noise factor caused me to have to go in my bedroom for 8 hours a day so I could work, okay? So this was not the ideal living situation. And so I realized I had to move again. And was I grateful to have to start this whole moving over process again? No, I really wasn't. And at this point in my life, I had really hit a bottom, emotionally, spiritually, financially, after getting out of that relationship. And that time, I certainly couldn't see, all the gifts that I would receive from that experience. But I also had an important decision to make. Was I going to use this opportunity, as painful as it was, as a means to grow? Or was I going to continue to blame the external and be ungrateful? Well, I did choose to grow and to find appreciation where I could. And then I focused on rebuilding my life. And then even though some chapters were closing, some others were now opening. I decided to go back to graduate school, and I love the program that I'm in. I did find another place to move into, and I love it. My friends did put me on a moving freeze. That's okay. And, after processing that relationship and all the lessons and the blessings, I am now in such a better place in my life. And it was such a huge catalyst for me to make these necessary changes in my life. I'm not the same Shannon as I was. And I'm really so thankful to my friends who, were there with me and believed in me and supported me in that time where I found it really hard to believe in myself. I am completely now grateful for that experience and the growth that it has brought me and so many blessings. And I recognize now today that, everything happened for a reason, and it happened exactly as it was supposed to, and it all worked out in the highest and greatest good for everyone. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that was easy, and the days weren't long, and the days weren't hard, and I just had to keep choosing to make this the best that I could. And if I was going to learn from this, no matter how hard it was, then I wasn't really losing anything at all. I could only gain from that experience. So I continued to use my spiritual tools and just kept applying them to my life. And even though there was that pain and there was a lot of disappointment, it became one of the biggest changes in my life, which I am so grateful for, even to this day. So today, we're going to get an opportunity to practice using this tool, okay? So I'm going to walk you guys through what that's going to look like. Everyone should have received a flash paper and a pen. Is that true? And did anyone not receive a flash paper and a pen? Okay. So ushers, if you guys could give those people that might need that. And I'm going to talk through it. So we've talked about transformation and, developing a deeper connection to God. So we're going to do so by releasing an area where we're feeling a lack of appreciation. So our first step in this process is going to be to admit, okay? So we have to admit there's an area, there's a situation, maybe there's a person, a circumstance where we're struggling with feeling appreciation or gratitude for, okay? And we're going to do that in a non-judgmental way, right? It's just we're observing this, I have an area in my life where I'm really struggling to feel appreciation for, okay? Now, if you go within and you're looking for that situation and you're having a hard time, you're like, nope, love everybody, grateful for everybody, then look at an area where you're super uptight about, and you'll find lack of appreciation there, okay? Dig a little deeper, so hopefully you'll find that, okay? So now we're admitting it, okay? We're having that area. We're doing so from also a place of, real self-honesty. Let's look at our stuff. Let's look at these edges where, we just have a little bit of a block in a non-judgmental way. So after that, we want to have that small amount of willingness, right, to just open up our hearts to turn that over to God. So we don't have to figure out how this is going to be transformed. We don't have to figure out what that looks like, that transformation. We just are going in and, becoming willing, just that small amount of willingness, okay? And then when we have that small amount of willingness, then we're going to then turn that over to God. And then after that, our last step is letting it go. That's where we'll get to come up here and burn and release it. And now when I'm talking about letting it go, what does that mean? We hear that a lot. Let it go, let it go, let it go. What that means is we're just releasing our attachments to this situation, to this circumstance, to this person, of needing it to be other than what it is, okay? And we're then also, as we're letting this go, we're accepting it as it is. Now, acceptance does not mean agreement, right? I can accept something, this is true, this is happening, but that doesn't mean I agree with it, okay? What acceptance means is I'm neither pushing it away or resisting it. I'm not denying that it's there, or, I'm in this blissed out place and it's so wonderful and amazing and putting all that there. I'm not denying it, okay? Nor am I clinging to it. Okay, so when we're accepting, we're not pushing it away. We're not clinging to that. We're letting it just be there. We're just letting it coexist inside of us so that we could have it transformed, into a miracle, into a shift, okay? So that first step, looking within, admitting there's an area, okay, without judgment. And then once you find that, having that willingness, just a small amount of willingness, open that heart up. And then we're going to turn that over to God, okay? And then we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go, okay? So right now, I'm going to invite you guys to pick just one thing, just one, where you would like to transform that lack of gratitude or lack of appreciation into gratitude so you can receive your miracle. Okay, so go ahead, just go within, go ahead and write that down. And then when you're ready, we'll have this section over here. You guys can come up here. And then you guys kind of in this middle, kind of left, you guys can kind of also come up this side. And then you guys here in the middle, kind of right, you guys please flow up here. And then this section over here. Okay? And we'll go, and then I'll do a closing prayer after that. So you guys go within, find that place, non-judgmental, just compassionately, and write that down. And then when you're ready, come on up. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to light this. Okay, so now you're gonna grab it, and then you're gonna burn it, and then let it go. Yeah. Okay, so grab it. There you go. And then you'll burn it, and then let it go. Yeah. Good job. Burn, and then awesome. Burn. Burn, baby, burn. Yeah. We're lighting this place on fire. Woo! Yeah. Perfect. I saw what you wrote. Awesome. Great job. Burn. Yeah, you're welcome. There you go. That's it. Yours is letting go. It was easy. Yeah, good job. Good job. Wonderful. There you go. And then you burn and then let it go. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, good thinking. Burn. And then let it go. Perfect. You did perfect. Good job, man. Good job. Okay. No, thank you. Yeah. Oops. I love you, girl. That's beautiful. Burn. Woo! Yeah. There we go. Nothing to let go there. All right. Yep. Just like that. You got it? Yeah. Ooh, good job, buddy. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Joe, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, good. Thank you. Oh, burning. There you go. Yeah, isn't that great? Would you just put that down? Yeah, thank you. All right, how was that, everybody? We'll let go. Feel a little bit better. So I want to close us out in a gratitude prayer. So first, I'm going to ask you guys just to close your eyes and accept this prayer from my heart to yours. And then after that, the second one, I'll say the prayer out loud, and then you guys will repeat after me. Okay? So take it in, and then we'll affirm that for ourselves and for all of our brothers and sisters. But the first one, I just invite you guys to close your eyes. In gratitude and thankfulness, we come with empty hands and open hearts, asking what you give. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear, and thus I am restored to my true reality at last. All that intruded on my sight, forgiveness takes away, and I draw near the end of senseless journeys, and I accept instead what God establishes as mine, sure that I go through fear to meet my love. All right, so now we're going to do it together. I'll go ahead and say a sentence, and then you guys will repeat after me. In gratitude and thankfulness we come. With empty hands and open hearts. Asking what you give. My gratitude permits my love to be accepted without fear. And thus I am restored to my true reality at last. All that intruded on my sight, forgiveness takes away. And I draw near the end of senseless journeys. And I accept instead what God establishes as mine. Sure that I go through fear to meet my love. Amen. Thank you all.
Hello? There? Good. When I found out the topic today was on gratitude, I found this, it occurred to me that out of the practice of gratitude comes a blossom of compassion. And I read this out of this book, the final, final musings of the Dalai Lama. This is how to be compassionate. This is my simple religion. No need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Your own mind, your own heart is the temple. The philosophy is simple kindness. My earnest request is that you practice compassion, whether you believe in a religion or not. Through the practice, you will come to realize the value of compassion for your own peace of mind. The very atmosphere of your own life becomes happier, which promotes good health, perhaps even a longer life. By developing a warm heart, we can also transform others. As we become nicer human beings, our neighbors, friends, parents, spouses, and children experience less anger. They will become more warm-hearted, compassionate, and harmonious. You will see the world around you change little by little. Even a small act of compassion grants meaning and purpose to our lives. Thank you.
I get to follow that? Oh my God. That's not fair. I love the dog. Too funny. Now that's peace. And speaking of peace, it's time to give us a piece of your abundance. So if you would, if ushers would please start passing around the baskets. And we have a little different, ask today, A-S-K, so that you have something to tangible to be giving to, not only to this lovely sanctuary, of course, and its maintenance, but our ask for today is, would you like to donate and contribute to heaters? Now, I know it's in the 60s today, so it's hard to imagine that someday soon, hopefully, snowflakes will start flying. Temperature will start dropping. And so your task for our ask is to donate to that cause. And what we want to do is we want to get 2 tall heaters, propane heaters, and set them, out in, what's that area called? The courtyard. So that we can go outside, we can commune with each other, and we don't have to be restricted by these masks. So I ask you to complete your task so that we can grab a flask, raise our masks, and take a swig. Anyway, thank you so much for whatever you contribute to. And I think, let's see, do we have a, yes, we have a prayer of gratitude from Judith once again.
This is one of my favorite quotes, so bear with me. This is from Melody Beatty. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. And this from John F. Kennedy. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. So that we may use these gifts in gratitude for that vision, or these visions, for this, our spiritual home. We thank you with deep appreciation for your gifts. May we use them to the good work of this space. Amen.
Very nice, yes.
Thank you, Judith. Yes, so with a heart filled with gratitude, thanks to all of the volunteers, our greeters, everyone who helped set up today, to Rick and Daryl and Jason and Sarma, for all of you being here. A few announcements, and then we'll have a closing prayer from Nancy Driver. So don't forget, next Saturday, the 27th, come and help transform Althea into a magical winter wonderland, and help us decorate for the holiday season. We also have some classes. The Habitual Roots brings yoga to the Althea Center. These are on the back of your handout. We will also have a gong bath. These are always typically the last Sunday of the month, so that's going to come up on the, what day is that? 28th. Embracing the Empath within your workshop. That is going to start December 1st, 6:30 to 8:30. And that will be a Zoom class. Don't forget, on a weekly basis, Thursdays is Community Connections with Kathy, and she does a terrific job. We also have prayer partners, so for those of you who are in need of an affirmative prayer, something personal and private, please take advantage of that with Connie and Mike, and they will be over in the prayer room, meditation room, and in the library. Let's see. Thanks to Barbara for her always weekly lovely altar setup, and I think We are in. Any other announcements? Oh, the. Oh yeah, the vote. Minor thing today. Yes, don't forget, don't leave without voting if you're eligible to vote. We will have a table set up in the dining room. It's a very exciting time today. There will be a deep dive. It will probably be shorter than usual. Don't forget to get coffee or tea. Take it out to the, why can't I remember that? The courtyard. Good Lord. Yes. You know, if you don't have any cash today, thank you for that reminder. I'll take your credit card and go back to the dip jar, and you can dip, I'll dip away. So just because you don't have any cash doesn't mean you can't give. It's a great way to give. We've also got the Evergreen program. You can do it daily. You can also give through Smile Amazon. And with all those purchases you're going to be making, we could get a sizable contribution. So look into that, or ask me or Rick, and we'll help you set it up. And also King Supers has a community way of donating. So thank you everyone. Nancy, we're ready.
What a beautiful day of gratitude. So let's just close our eyes. And be filled with the breath of life. Fill our hearts with gratitude, with thanksgiving, with joy, with that Colorado sunshine just basking on our shoulders. And from this place of gratitude, we just let go of the old, release what was, and we welcome in the new. We embrace the new. It's always the unknown, but what a beautiful unknown it will be. And from this place of gratitude, from this place of joy, from this place of great thanksgiving, we celebrate this wonderful Althea Center, and we celebrate one another. And we say, thank you, Spirit. And so it is.
I'm really excited about the community song today. This is one of my favorites. If you're friends with Dorothy or Blanche or Rose or Sophia, you will definitely know this song. So please stand and join me in our community song. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, well, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being